Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the diesel power plant layout. In this diesel power plant layout, we are going to learn about diesel engines. We are going to learn about diesel engines, four-stroke diesel engine and two-stroke diesel engine, right? So before going to the engines, before going to the say engine, so we are going to learn about the engine. So first definition of the engine and internal combustion engine. So internal combustion engine means the combustion takes place inside of the engine cylinder. The combustion takes place inside of the engine cylinder. So here, so any type of engine or a machine which derives heat energy from the combustion of the fuel or any other sources. So it derives the heat energy from the combustion of the fuel or any other sources. That heat energy will be converted into some useful work. This heat energy, this energy will be into useful mechanical work termed as a heat engine. So we derive the heat engine, we derive the heat, so heat energy from the burning of the fuel. So that heat energy will be using some useful work. This energy will be converted into some useful mechanical work. So that is about heat engine. So heat engine further classified into external combustion engine and internal combustion engine. So internal combustion, I already told, internal combustion means the combustion takes place inside of the engine cylinder. Combustion takes place inside of the engine cylinder, that we call it as a internal combustion engine. Then we have a main components of the. So this is about main parts of the IC engine. So here we have a the main parts of the IC engine are piston connecting rod. So here we have a piston. So then we have a connecting rod and crankshaft. So we have a main components: piston, connecting rod, crankshaft. So this is about engine cylinder. We have a inlet valve, exhaust valve. So at the top portion. So here the combustion takes place. Here the combustion takes place. Combustion takes place inside of the engine cylinder. Right? So here we have, so this is about combustion chamber. So here the combustion takes place inside of the engine cylinder. The combustion takes place inside of the engine. So the fuel or air, that air alone will comes to the engine cylinder. So that air will be compressed during the compression stroke. That air will be ignited by using fuel injector. That fuel will be injected to the engine cylinder. So that air and fuel will be combustion take place. That will be ignited, and then combustion will take in place, and the heat energy will be liberated here. So this heat energy, due to these hot gases expand, again the piston will be towards moving downside. So the here the in the cylinder the piston will be reciprocating. So the piston will be reciprocating in the cylinder. So here we have a piston rings and wrist pin. So one end of the connecting rod is connected to the piston, and another end, big end of the piston will be connected to the crankshaft with the help of gudgeon pin. So here, so the reciprocating motion of the piston, the reciprocating motion of the piston will be converted into the rotary momentum. The reciprocating motion of the piston, the reciprocating motion of the piston, the reciprocating motion of the piston will be converted into the rotary motion of the crankshaft. So here, the connecting rod which అరే చిన్న చెల్లి మమ్మీతో ఫోన్ చేసి డాడీ వీడియో రికార్డ్ చేస్తాడని చెప్పి. So here, so the engine cylinder, the piston will be reciprocating. The piston will be reciprocating. So the piston will be reciprocating here. Again, here we have an inlet valve and exhaust valve. These inlet valve and exhaust valves are operated by using camshaft. These inlet valve and exhaust valves are operated by the camshaft. So the reciprocating of the piston will be converted into rotary motion of the crankshaft. The reciprocating motion of the piston will be converted as the rotary motion of the crankshaft with the help of connecting rod. So these connecting rod connects the piston and crankshaft. These connecting rod connects the piston and crankshaft. Now we'll move to the four-stroke diesel engine. We'll move to the four-stroke diesel engine. So here the four strokes are suction stroke, compression stroke, expansion or working stroke. The fourth one is the exhaust stroke. Suction, compression, expansion, and exhaust. These are the four strokes of the piston. So during the suction stroke, the piston will be moving towards downside. The piston will be moving towards downside. The piston will be moving towards downside. So here, this is about engine cylinder. We have an inlet valve and exhaust valves are there. Inlet valve and exhaust valves are there. So that air will be admitted into this engine cylinder. Air will be admitted into this engine cylinder. So during the suction stroke, the air will be admitted into the engine cylinder. The air will be admitted into the engine cylinder. So whenever the piston moving towards downside, this vacuum will be created here inside of the engine cylinder. So during the suction stroke, whenever the piston moving towards downside, that air will be admitted into the engine cylinder due to the pressure differences. So here in this pressure will be less than compared to the outside atmospheric pressure. So here the air will be pressure will be less than compared to the outside atmospheric pressure. So the air will be admitted into the engine cylinder. Air alone will be admitted into the engine cylinder through the inlet valve. Okay. So in this suction stroke, the exhaust position of the valve, exhaust valve will be closed position. Position of the valve is exhaust valve is the closed position. Inlet valve will be open, that air will be admitted into the engine cylinder. So here the piston will be moving towards downside. So four strokes of the piston are two complete revolutions of the crankshaft will be occur. Four strokes of the piston are and two complete revolutions of the crankshaft will be appeared. So whenever the piston moves towards downside, then the 180 degrees of the crankshaft will be rotated. So this is about the first stroke. Now coming to the second stroke, what happened? The main events in the compression strokes are both inlet valves and exhaust valves are the closed position. Both inlet valve and exhaust valves are the closed position. Here the piston will be towards moving from BDC to TDC. That means bottom to top. The piston will be moving bottom to top. You may observe the arrow of the piston traveled indicates by this arrow. So here both inlet and exhaust valves are the position. So the main event in this compression stroke is that air will be compressed. Whatever the air will be admitted during the suction stroke, that air will be compressed. That air will be compressed. That air will be compressed. Here that air will be compressed. So that pressure and temperature will goes on increasing. Paisa door close. So here, what happened in the compression stroke, that air will goes on, the temperature of the air will goes on increasing and pressure of the air will goes on increasing in the compression stroke. Both inlet valve and exhaust valves are the closed position. So the crank angle will be up to 360 degrees. So one complete revolutions of the crankshaft will be done. One complete revolutions of the crankshaft will be done up to here. So now we'll move to the power and expansion stroke. So at the end of the compression stroke, so these air will be admitted. This air will be ignited. This air will be ignited by with the help of fuel particles. That air will be ignited with the help of fuel particles. That fuel will be injected, sprinkled to the engine cylinder. That fuel particles will be sprinkled to the fuel injector. So here combustion takes place. Here the combustion takes place. Due to the hot gases expands, due to the hot gases expands, due to the hot gas expands, the again piston, again these due to the hot gas expand, again piston pushes towards downside. That means again piston moving towards downside. You may observe the indication of the arrow. Again piston moving towards downside due to the hot gases expands. Due to the hot gases expands, the piston will be moving towards downside. Then here both inlet valve and exhaust, same as a compression stroke, both inlet and exhaust valves are the compressed closed position. Both inlet and exhaust valves are the closed position. So the crank angle will be 180 plus 180 plus 180 up to 540 degrees of the crankshaft will be done. Rotation of the crankshaft will be up to 540 degrees. So due to the hot gases expands, power will be liberated. So here burning of the fuel takes place, the combustion of the fuel takes place. It will be generating the heat energy. Due to the combustion of the fuel, heat will be liberated. Due to that, heat gases expands. Again, piston moving towards downside. That means again piston moving from TDC to BDC, right? So that working stroke. This is about the working stroke. Power will be liberated here. Heat energy will be generated here, liberated here, right? So due to this heat, entire plant will be running. This is about the working stroke of the engine. So here both inlet and exhaust valves are the closed position. Now coming to the fourth stroke, that is about exhaust stroke. Exhaust stroke. So whatever the gases, the products of the combustion. So whatever the production of the combustion, so these products of the combustion will goes to the atmosphere through these exhaust valves. It means products of the combustion will be what we call it emissions of the engine, or exhaust gases of the engine. These exhaust gases in the form of smoke will goes to the atmosphere through this exhaust valve. These exhaust gases will goes to this atmosphere through the carbon dioxide, monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, all the emissions from the engine. So that will goes to the atmosphere through this exhaust valve. So this is about fourth stroke. The piston moving during the fourth stroke, the piston moving from bottom to top. This exhaust valve will be opened and these gases will goes to the atmosphere. So this is about cyclic process. So up to this stroke, 540 plus 180 up to 720 degrees of the crankshaft will be there. That means two complete revolutions of the crankshaft. Will be there. 4 strokes of the piston are 2 complete revolutions of the crankshaft will be done here. So this is about a 4-stroke diesel engine. Now we'll move to 2-stroke diesel engine. So this is about a 2-stroke engine. So in the 4-stroke engine, we have a valves, but whereas in the 2-stroke engine, we have a ports like inlet port, transfer port. We have a inlet port and a transfer port and exhaust valve. Like that, we have a different ports will be there. Inlet port, exhaust valve, and transfer port. So whereas in the 4-stroke engine, we have an inlet valve and exhaust valve. That valves are operated with the help of camshaft. Separate mechanism will be there. But whereas in the 2-stroke engine, these inlet port, exhaust port, and transport will be covered due to the piston movement. So due to the piston movement, due to the upward and downward movement of the piston, these inlet port and exhaust port, transfer port will be covered with the help of piston only. There is no another separate mechanism. There is no separate mechanism. So here we have a upward stroke and a downward stroke. So in the 4-stroke engine, we have a suction compression. we have a expansion exhaust stroke. So here we have a upward stroke and downward stroke zone. So due to the upward stroke, so the air will be enter into the combustion chamber. We have a combustion chamber here. So this is about combustion chamber. So here the air will not directly enter into the combustion chamber. First it will be comes to the combustion chamber. So here, due to the further movement of the piston, so whatever the air will be there, fresh air will be there, that air will be compressed. That means temperature and pressure of the air will goes on increasing. Pressure and temperature of the air will goes on increasing. So at the end of the compression, so here combustion takes place. Here the combustion takes place. So that air will goes on the due to the combustion, due to the hot gas expand again, it will be pushing the piston towards downside. The piston will be moving towards downside. The piston will be moving towards downside. So due to the movement of the piston only, this exhaust port will be there open. This exhaust port will be open, or exhaust gases, whatever the exhaust gases will be there, that exhaust gases will be goes to the atmosphere through this exhaust port. Further down come, further movement of the piston, transfer port will open. Transfer port will be open. These fresh air, the fresh air from the combustion chamber will goes to this engine cylinder. The fresh air will comes from the combustion chamber to the engine cylinder through this transfer port. Through this transfer port. So here inlet and transfer port, or exhaust port are covering and uncovering due to the piston movement only. Due to the piston movement only, it will be covering and uncovering. So here in the four-stroke engine, we have inlet valve and exhaust valve. That valves are operated by camshaft. Here in the two-stroke, these inlet port, transfer port, and exhaust port will be covered and uncovered with the due to the movement of the piston only. So I hope you are understanding the concept of two-stroke engine and four-stroke engine. So various systems in the auxiliary diesel engine. So here we have a air intake system, and we have a exhaust system, and we have a fuel supply. Then we need a lubrication system also. Due to the so here we have a all the rotating parts, moving parts. So this engine cylinder we have a so many moving parts also there. So that need lubrication. Heat rejection will be taken place. So much of heat will be liberated. So we must cool the engine with the help of a cooling system and lubrication system. Right? We need to use the cooling system as well as lubrication system for this diesel engine. So we have a air intake system, fuel supply system, lubrication system, cooling system, exhaust system. Like that, we have a several auxiliary systems all necessary for smooth running of the power plant. I hope you may understand the concept of four-stroke engine, four-stroke diesel engine, and two-stroke diesel engine. Thank you.